Welcome to Jollof and Fiction, home of African literature and stories, the kind that warm your heart like a fresh pot of jollof. Today, you're tuning into a recorded session of our online book discussion, so sit back, relax, and join the conversation.
Kindly react if you can hear my voice. Okay, thank you very much. So, good evening once again. My name is Olivia and I will be your host for tonight's review. So tonight, is it a review? Yeah, review. So tonight we're going to be discussing the article. It's called On the Politicization of Skinny. So it's an article on Substack by Ikanke-Abasi. So without wasting much time, let's get right into the first question of today. So before, I'm just going to paste it on the chat box so that everyone can have access to it. So our very first question for today is, what's your general overview of the piece? I mean, this includes your thoughts on the style and the tone of writing. Like, how was it for you? Yeah, so I'd like to hear your thoughts. And while I wait for you to raise your hands, I think I am just going to go first. So I hope you all can still hear me. So my first impression of my first thoughts, I don't know. I just feel like I felt a little bit schooled, right? You know, the writing is calling me. Sorry about that. So the writing tone for me felt a little bit like I was in a classroom and everything. So it sounded more, it was trying to be a little bit friendly at the same time. There were places where I felt like, I could just feel a bit of frustration because, when you heard something over and over again, you tend to react in a certain way based off of how you've been hearing that particular thing. So, I mean, body types, body structure, body shaming. This is something that, I mean, everybody is very common. It's a very common conversation, whether you're fat or skinny, you're chubby, you're what they call the figure eight, whichever one you are. You once in a while hear compliments about your body. It could be something you don't like or something you like. So I feel like it's not something very far-fetched. And at the same time, coming from the author, I mean, like, she's heard a lot about herself, and so at some point, I just heard that little undertone of anger, like that little bit of frustration that comes with hearing one particular thing over and over again. But then this is just me, so I would like to hear your thoughts as well. So yeah, so nobody has. Okay, Barnabas, you can go ahead and speak.
All right, thank you, Olivia. Good evening, everyone. I like how Nigerian the piece was. I mean, she was writing about something that everyone experiences, but I like that she was able to bring it home to relatable Nigerian experiences and phrases. So I think there was the opening, there is the definition of what's it called? I'm trying to remember whether it's collarbone or skinny. I can't remember, but she defined it and then used the popular Nigerian phrase. So I like how relatable it was. And the fact that she was able to incorporate some kind of scenes from childhood, brought back nostalgia, some form of nostalgia. What else? Yeah, and the fact that you mentioned that, I think, I don't know, but I want to say that almost everyone in Nigeria have been body shamed at some point in their lives, either you've been too fat, too skinny, too short, too tall. You shall collect something will reach you. So one person will yab you or something like that. I don't know how else to say. I like that she was playing with her writing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, now that you mentioned it, I actually realized that yes, it's true. The classroom experience and how it started and everything. So And you're right. I don't think this is a very far-fetched topic. So I actually expect everyone to have something to say because this is something that at some point you must have experienced. So I really hope to hear your opinions on this. So I'm just going to call on one more person and then we're going to move over to the next topic. Okay, so Uzoma raised her hand. So Uzoma, let's hear from you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I like that I was able to see the real picture of Lekbashandi because I didn't even know where it came from. You guys say Lekbashandi. I didn't even know that Lekbashandi was a person. So she showed us the original Lekbashandi, and I had to see it. So I really like that she showed me Lekbashandi. At least I know who I'm being, like the person that they're usually calling me. So I finally know my namesake, and I've met her.
Okay. I'm glad you met your namesake. And I guess the rest of us too, who grew up being called like Bashandi, we've met the person we were named after. All right, so let's go over to the next question. We're not going to waste so much time. So I'm pasting it on the chat box. So just give me a moment. Okay, so my second question for today is this. Hold on, just a sec. So it says Ikanke states, what am I discussing today? What I am discussing today simply is a body positivity paradox. How everyone should be happy in their body. Sometimes really means everyone should be happy in my body. I'd like to hear I'd like to hear your individual understanding of this statement. So, for me, I'm not sure I understood what she was trying to say. So I really feel like hearing what you have to say is going to help me because from my own point of view, I think she's trying to say that people should be happy in the body they wish they had. This is what I could pick from it because at some point she mentioned, people coming up to you and saying, oh, you have such nice slim waist. I wish I had this waist. So with this waist of yours, please, plus my own hips, I think I'll make a very good, whatever. So this is what I think I understand. Okay, Nabas, thank you so much. He already helped me post it on the chat box. So please, the question is on the chat box. So please, what do you think about this statement? Because I am not sure I understand it well. So I would like to hear your thoughts on that. Okay, nobody's raising their hands. So I am going to call someone randomly. Okay, let's start with you, Lambert.
Hi everyone, congratulations to me. I got an earpiece upgrade. So please tell me, how is this current one doing? Any screeches, any scratches, any screeches? Is everything okay with this one?
You sound very audible.
Oh, thank you so much. I think I understood it as I agree with you. At first I didn't quite get it, but I think everybody had their interpretation of it, which is fine. It's kind of what the article is about, in fact. I think I understood it as everybody should praise my own body, should not tell me that if I looked like that other person I would be perfect. Everyone should be comfortable about my body, should give me compliments. When they see me, they should say, I love your body, you are pretty, without making any reference to any other body whatsoever. So everyone should be 100% comfortable and okay with my body and see me as the standard. That's my understanding of it. Thank you.
Okay, so if I understood you correctly, you mean whose own body are we talking about? The body of the person you're complimenting, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that was how I understood it, but I would also like to hear from someone else to be sure of, to hear what other people have to say. Okay, Uzoma, let's hear from you.
Okay, I also want to say that I also paused at that point because I didn't really get what she was trying to say. But then listening to Tehila and you, the thing that came to my mind was, have you seen this meme where there's this very curvy lady and there's this very flat, another weirdly shaped woman, and it's like the curvy lady is telling the oddly shaped woman that you have to learn to love yourself. That's what he wrote. Like the person telling me to love myself, look at how you look like, but then you're telling me to love myself. So in a way, I think is hey, I've lost my train of thought too. That's this happen too much. But what I want to say is that because you like the way you look, you think that everybody should also like the way they look. I'm trying to that picture made sense. It made sense in my head. Now I'm struggling to find my words, but it's just like saying I like the way I look, so everybody should be happy with the way they are too. But the way you are is not the way I am. So you should not tell me to like the way I am, because looking at you, you definitely look better than me. But then you're telling me to like the way I am, but you don't look like me. So why will you tell me to like the way I am, especially when you look better? So that's what came to my mind when I read it. No, you guys have to tell me that you have seen that meme.
I haven't seen the meme though, but I think I understand you better now. With your own explanation, I think I understand where you and Tahila are coming from. And yes, you're right. Yes, I do think you made a very good point. Telling everybody to like your body, like that is telling me to like my body is like saying I should accept your own body, because I mean, why not? You like yourself, but in reality, I don't actually look the way you do. It makes a lot of sense. So yes, I do, and I see that aspect now. I see it. Okay, so let's hear from one or two more persons before we move on. Okay, so I'd like to hear from Jane Francis. Hi, Jane Francis, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, let's hear your opinion on this particular question.
Okay, so I actually agree with the first person. Like the exact way she explained it, that's how I understood it when I read the part. Like the reference to my body is actually referring to people's opinion about you. They should not even have opinions because it's not their body. It is my body. So they should be happy about they shouldn't refer to it with any negative whatever. They should be happy with it because they are not my creator. God has created me. I'm already that way. And me, I've accepted it. So you also should accept it. So that's how I see it.
All right, Jane Francis, that's okay. I mean, right? Everybody should accept everyone for the way they look, even though we agree to disagree at some point. But it's fine. Navas, is your hand still up, or do you have something to say? Or is it from the previous time?
Sorry, I just wanted a chance to laugh during that time when Dominion was trying to explain that someone who has a perfect body will be telling the other person who is overweight, you should be happy in your own body because she is happy in her own body. And you're like, I am not you, you're not me. You are happy in your own body. I am not happy in my own body. So I just wanted a chance to laugh at that time when Dominion was saying that. So that's all I wanted to do.
Okay, that's fine. And it's actually very funny how we all expect that. Thinking about this, I think I am happy in my own body, to be honest. But the truth still remains that I don't think I would be happy if I were other people. So actually maybe it's me, right? It's me, and I do like myself, like I said. But then thinking about it, this article made me reminisce, and I'm actually wondering if I were looking a little bit different from what I am, would I really be happy? So is it really going to make sense telling someone, hey, I think you should be happy in your body? I mean, you look so nice. Like, really, I don't think it's right. So that's fine. So let's move on to the next question. So just a moment and we'll have it. Okay, so the next question is coming to the chat box shortly. Just give me a sec. Okay, so Mokut raised her hand. Mokut, do you want to speak on the current, what we are talking about, or? Yeah, all right.
Yes, I want to say, like, I don't understand what you mean by, is it really right to tell somebody that they should be happy in the body that they have, when the purpose of this whole article is basically telling you that you should be happy in the body that you have, because that is literally your body, regardless of it is hard. But regardless of whatever, that's your body. The thing is, you can like alter your body. Again, it is hard. But the body that you have, you should be happy in it until you can alter the body to what you want. And when you get the body you want, you should also be happy in it. So I don't understand how that is a problem, telling somebody that you should be happy in your body. Like, I don't know if I'm the one that fails to understand what you just said last, or if I'm like misinterpreting it.
Okay, I think what I was trying to say, if I remember what I just said, is I'm saying now that we have different opinions of how we understood that particular statement, I'm actually thinking about it and saying, yes, if what it means, because every other person agrees, most people agree that yes, saying everybody should be happy in their body is more like saying everybody should be happy with my body, and what I have is not what you have, right? That's what the healer said. That's what Dominion said, if I am correct. So now, if that's what we all mean, I was just saying, truth be told, if what I'm trying to tell someone else is you should be happy in your body, and whereas I know that I am happy in my body because it is mine, so I feel like it's hypocrisy. I'm just saying, I feel like it's hypocrisy knowing that I like the way I am, and even if I have something different from what I currently have, I might not be happy with it. So I feel like I am just being hypocritical, telling you to be happy with what you have, knowing that I like what I have, and even if I had that same thing, even if I had what you have, I would not be happy. I don't know. Do I answer your question? Did I answer your question? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's move on. Okay, Light, you want to say something? So, Light, you're just going to speak, and then we move on to the next question quickly.
Okay, hi everybody. Please confirm that you can hear me. Can you hear me? Oh my God, the network is down.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. So I was going to say that what I understood from that line is a little different from what everybody else has said. When I heard everyone should be happy in their body means everyone should be happy in my body. What I understood is that while some people, because after reading through the entire article, it was like, what came to mind? So for me, it read like, some people say they support all bodies. They're like, oh, love your body or whatever. But in practice, like in truth, indeed, they only accept or praise bodies that fit their own idea of what is attractive or what is acceptable, especially citing the lady more and her piece, right? So it's like they're saying, oh, body positivity, be happy in your body. But if your body somehow doesn't fit into their idea of what an ideal body should be, they don't have as much praise for you. It's what I understood. Of course, it's just my own understanding of it. And I said I was going to, share.
Okay, thank you so much, Light. That's a different perspective. I mean, the truth is, if we ask 100 people, people have different opinions, and we might not be able to exhaust it. So I think this is another perspective to it. And yeah, you could be right, because I mean, it's your opinion, and yeah, you're right. So let's move over to the next question. It's already on the chat box. So let me read it out. Sorry, just give me a sec. All right, so the next question says body positivity versus body neutrality. What should we actually be striving for as a society? Should we tell everyone they are beautiful no matter what they look like, thereby reinforcing the idea that beauty is what grants someone the right to be treated as human? Or should we aim to detach meaning from bodies altogether? That is, that a body is just a body and you are a person regardless of what it looks like. And is body neutrality even possible? This is a very deep question. So I am not going to speak first. I would like to hear your opinions first. So I think Mokut raised her hand. So Mokut, let's start with you.
Okay, thank you, Olivia. This particular question is a very interesting question. So I listened to a it wasn't a podcast. It was a sit-down session. This vlogger who was overweight all her life, right? She was a body positivity movement influencer. So she moved from being overweight to being obese while saying that she while being body positive, right?
Yeah.
There are two like ends of this spiral. So you have the person who has an extreme eating disorder. You have like a person whose eating disorder causes them to eat a lot, and you have a person whose eating disorder causes them to eat too little. And then like there's the body positivity movement in the middle, right? And then so this particular influencer, she wasn't an influencer, but I'm just going to call her an influencer, talked about how she had to, one thing, she told herself that she was body positive while she was pushing herself to the brink of death, right? So she was obese and her friends had died, like her fellow obese friends had died, and she was now scared and she had to talk reality back into herself that, okay, so maybe I don't want to die. So I need to do something about my weight, right? And then she also had to love herself and be positive about herself to lose weight. So she was almost 600 pounds. So she's about 195 pounds now, which is about 80 something kg now. So she had to like love herself, like be body positive to lose weight for her to live. So I do feel now that's like for somebody who is overweight and obese. Now for somebody who like there's another person who was very skinny. She had a very severe eating disorder, so she was very skinny, like the skinny where you can see like almost 0% body fat, right? And this is because she was so scared of being fat and she was so scared of being, past a certain weight and all of that. She had to like that was her own version of body positivity. But then she had to do something about it because she was going to die. 0% body fat means that your organs are unprotected, you're constantly cold, there's a hypothermia and all of that, arrhythmia. Now you have to like, she has to like her body into health. So there's like, I do feel like body positivity is very necessary because you need it to be able to adjust yourself. And I would genuinely say that if like whenever I see myself moving past a certain weight and my back starts to hurt, like there's no beauty standard, that there's no body positivity for me again. It's like the reality of, okay, Moku, you have to lose weight. And I do feel like if my friends were too big, if that's a thing, it's a thing. If they were too big on the verge of extremely unhealthy, I do feel like as part of the body positivity movement, I would tell them that, okay, I think you need to like get yourself in check. So I do feel like I think body positivity is a thing, if it's a proper thing, if used and acknowledged and represented and applied properly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marcus. That was a very insightful input. So you actually made a lot of sense, like a whole lot. I mean, you said you have to positively love your body to change is right, and I can't agree more. So I would like to hear from the next person. So Judith raised her hand next. So Judith, let's kindly hear from you, and then Lambert's next.
Hi, Olivia. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Okay, just as Mokut said, um, this question is actually a very, very deep question, right? So for me, I don't think we should lean to one side or the other. Um, the question said, "Is body neutrality possible?" I don't think body neutrality is really possible because just as Mokut said, you could really see somebody tending towards tending towards a very unhealthy state, and you need to tell the person needs to acknowledge that, oh, I need to pay attention to my body, right? So being neutral about it doesn't work, and then being positive about it, I think the both of them needs to balance, because now we are just somehow focused on when someone being fat or someone being slim, but there are other body issues. People are big body shame. There are people that their upper part is so bigger than their lower parts, and the proportion is so weird. There are people that
Yeah,
have very
actually.
huge breasts, but they are slim. You could literally see that they are slim, but their breasts are very huge, right? I'm talking from the female perspective. So there are so many body what's it called? I think it's called dysmorphism that is available there that people need to. So something like your upper part being bigger than your lower part, I don't really think if there's so much you can do about it apart from embracing body positivity. Now, when you're overweight or underweight, there are things you could do. You could exercise. There are types of exercise you could eat. You could do food meals you could eat, supplements, and all of that to balance that out. But when it comes to body dysmorphism, your leg, there's this one. Then I know growing up, they'll say my leg is yam leg, like all these Enugu, all these Enugu girls, yam leg kind of thing. So, what do you want me to do? How am I supposed to like work that out? I mean, if I even do leg work on it, like go to
Yeah,
the gym and
it's
work it
going to
out,
just get
it
more.
even gonna be more stronger or something. So, what do you
Yeah,
do in that kind of thing? That is where body positivity comes in. That's where you
yeah,
become positive about your body. That's where you embrace all of it and care. But when it comes to underweight, overweight, there's a point where it gets to you. You need to know where it is, where it's getting overboard, and where you need to like call yourself to order, right? So I think there should be a word for the both of them. The both of them is needed. Body positivity is needed. Body neutrality is also needed. Sometimes mind your business. Just let people be. I don't think it should be that we should leave body positivity entirely, because you need body positivity for people that is not about underweight or overweight. I mean, even something like there are people that have body is the stomach is part of the body, right? Yeah. So someone's stomach could be could be an issue, just like I'm having with myself. So that too. Now for that, if you know yourself, you would know whether it's something you could work on. And there are actually people that they have distended stomachs that it's going to take a lot of work to take inside. Is natural, is genetic. I mean to say, not natural, it's genetic. So
yeah.
in conclusion, both body positivity and body neutrality, somehow they need to go hand in hand. Just know when to apply them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Judith. That was very insightful, and I can't agree more. You're very correct. They need to go hand in hand, just like Mokut also said. I mean, you both made very wonderful points. You cannot take one and discard the other because they are very necessary. This was why I said I'm not going to speak first because I would like to hear other people's opinion. So, and yes, part of the things some of the things I'm thinking is also some of the things you people have said, because where do we draw the line on body positivity when you can see you're going to die from being obese? Where do we draw the line when you can see you're going to die from being skinny? So, and also, like you pointed out, where do we draw the line when it comes to telling people they have things they cannot change about themselves. There are things that cannot be changed, right? Even telling someone you're short, it cannot be changed. I mean, what do you want me to do? I saw a video, the guy was like, what do you want me to do, bro? Like, literally, what do you want them to do? So there are times where I think both of them should go hand in hand, like you said. So let's hear from you, Tahila, and then we can move on to the next question.
Thank you so much. One of the reasons I really, really love reviews is to get to pick everyone's brain like this and to hear everyone out because I'm absolutely gobsmacked listening to Mokut and listening to Judy. It was just therapy for my brain. It was so inspiring. Such thoughtful points they had. Just to add to that, I don't think that we can 100% eliminate or ostracize personhood from body because a person is who we can see. The person is who we can see, the body. We cannot say, oh, you have such a beautiful spirit. Oh, you're such a beautiful soul. We can't see your soul. I know Judith because I know her body. I know Nabas because I know his body. I know what he sounds like. I know his voice. And man is a gregarious animal. Man is social. So you cannot completely 100% eliminate the influence of another person or other people, including family, friends, those close to you, enemies, from your life. Otherwise, you might as well exist in an island with nobody there. So I think that I 100% agree with Judith and Mokut in terms of balance, in terms of what can we control and what can we not control. For instance, body dimorphism, just like Judith said, goes way beyond skinny or fat. It could be tall, it could be short. In the army, there is a certain height, so that if they are dodging bullets, you're fit for the army. There are things that are required. So the ones you can control, you should love yourself enough. You should be body positive enough to stay alive, to stay healthy for you, for your loved ones, because being too skinny, being obese has health implications. These are not just social constructs and social discourses like we're talking about feminism or parenting or chivalry. We're talking about your rights to exist in this world. It's serious business. We're talking about what makes you physical, what makes you a person. If you get diabetes and your leg needs to be cut off, your family isn't going to enjoy you. You're going to hate yourself. You're going to probably be depressed. Your body is yours to take care of. So while we are trying to find a balance, we shouldn't tilt to either side of the extreme. This extreme says, however you are, whoever you are, you're totally welcome. No judgment zone. We listen, we don't judge. So you enter a taxi and you're so far and you're sitting at the back and you're so far and you're pressing the existence out of some other person. You might as well just order boats if you want to love yourself so much and you don't want to do anything about your weight. And you're still joining us to enter Molu buses in Lagos. So one way or another, you affect another person. Your life affects another person. So the ones you can control, like not having a protruded stomach because you are drinking too much of beer and too much of brukutu, and then your stomach is just so big and you literally look funny. The ones that you have control over, then you should do something about it. The ones you don't have control over, like what could someone possibly do about their height, for God's sake? Then that is where that phrase now comes in, of accepting yourself the way you are. But as much as you can work on it to better your life, to feel lighter, to feel better, for your family to enjoy you more, for your spouse to enjoy you more, to live longer, as much as you can, do that. Once it gets to the place where your influence stops, then we embrace the extreme side of body positivity that says, don't judge, I'm going to be the way I am, I'm exactly the way I am, and you should keep your opinions to yourself. But once it's something that can affect the next person, there are people that love you, and sometimes even though they are not the best at constructive criticism, they could be so nasty and just say, why are you so fat, why are you so skinny? But it's sometimes coming from a place of care most of the time, and they're like, they want you to feel better about yourself. They want you to feel better in your clothes. I mean, especially ladies, we love to look good, right? So there's a way you can look and you're like, oh, I have to do something about it. So I 100% agree with the summary of what Mokut and Judith said. As much as you can, love yourself enough to be healthy, to exercise, to keep fit. Once it's something you can't do nothing about, then nobody's damn business.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much. That was like, I think you summarized the whole review, like the entire. And I had to pause at some point to laugh. I had to mute my mic to laugh. And that was why I wasn't really responding. Because what you said about, when it gets to a point where your body becomes a discomfort to another person, I resonate so much. Every time I get into a taxi, I hate going out. Why? Because whenever I get into a taxi, whether it's a keke or the regular small taxis, I am always disadvantaged because sometimes I end up staying at the back with very fat people. And I am the one who is always being squashed because have you seen me? I look so skinny. I can never forget this day. I had to go on sorry, it's so funny, but I have to recount the story. So I can never forget the day I went to Kwali. I was sent to Kwali to go and do something by the organization I work for. So on my way back, this woman is two times, no, not two, what am I saying? Two times. Two times, okay, yes, two times a regular chubby person. She's like 6 times my size. I am not kidding. I kid you not, people of God. And in Abuja, they don't carry 3 people at the back, they carry 4. So, what is someone who is 6 times my size doing at the same back of the car with me and 2 other people? Can you even picture that in your head? People who live in Abuja understand what I'm saying. So can you even imagine? And guess what? This lady enters. She was dragging 100 naira with the driver, saying she's going to pay 600. Meanwhile, the driver was telling her to pay 700. And you are bigger than all of us. Me that is small, that you've relegated to the middle of the vehicle. One part of your body is sitting on one part of my body, and the other 2 people, one part of their body is also sitting on one part of my body. So I'm literally in between you guys, suffocating. And you say, and I still have to pay 700, and you are insisting on paying 600. So like, it's so crazy. I've had to experience that. So it's just so funny. That's not really related to the topic, but it's so funny. I cannot forget it. It's one of the reasons it's going out. And yeah, it's just very uncomfortable. So sorry about the noise. I got a call. So let's go over to, I don't know, someone else. Yes, I saw Light's hand up. So Light, can you just be very brief and then we can go over to the next question? Light, let's hear from you.
Oh no, there's no need. They've already said a lot of things, and I agree. I was I was just curious about body neutrality, and the question said it's even possible. So I was going to say that to a certain degree, I don't think so, but they've already answered and I've liked their takes.
All right. I mean, they've said a lot already and it's already been settled. So yeah, and I do agree with them. So when it comes to body neutrality and body positivity, literally everything you guys have said, um I was skeptical to speak at first, but then everything you said has answered it because I was wondering, in a situation where someone is so fat or obese and you can see that it's actually ruining their life, should we keep telling them, oh, you look so beautiful, appreciate yourself? But I mean, the first thing Mokut said already answered everything by saying that, giving a life example of someone who was actually like that. She was positive all the way, but at some point she had to tell herself the truth. So yeah, there are times when we need to be positive, but there are times when we need to tell ourselves the hard truth and do something about our body. Okay, with that said, let's go over to the next question. So our next question says, how do early experiences like the rectangle moment shape body image in long term? When students are told about their body shapes early on, do you think this influences what they later want their bodies to look like? I have my opinions on this, but I think I would let others speak first. So, Lambert and Moku, before you speak, I would like to call on someone different. So, I'd like to hear from a guy this time who is not Nabas. So, Nicholas, let's hear from you. What do you think about the question I just asked? If you didn't really hear me, you can check the chat box. So, yes, we would like to hear from you, Nicholas. What do you think? Is he still on this call? He just disappeared. Is Nicholas still here? Oh, I think he left the call. Okay, so let's hear from Johnson. Johnson, what do you think about the question I just dropped on the
I'm
chat?
still on the call.
Oh, Nicholas, you're still on the call. Okay, let's hear from you.
What's the question again?
Okay, it says, how do early experiences like the rectangle moments, I mean, the moment where she talked about how their teacher told them about their different bodies and all, said, how does it shape body image in the long term? When students are told about their body shapes early on, do you think this influences what they later want their bodies to look like?
I don't think there is any definite way to answer this question, but I like to think that it depends on what is the trend at that time.
Okay.
For example, if the trend, as she suggested, is being skinny is the trend. So if she falls into that category or she doesn't fall into that category, it will influence what she wants her body to be like in the nearest future.
Okay.
So another thing that is that they are children. Yeah. The people they hold in high esteem, what do they prefer? People that they respect or people that they have crushes on, what do they prefer? So if they find out that they are with team, I don't know the body types. I mean, this is more like a female topic because you know how society is now. It is about body types are mostly problematic for women because of the cultural influences there is. So let me go back to what I was saying. If the people that she respects or she looks up to or she crushes on are in team whatever that is not her body type, it may also influence what she wants her body to be like in the future. So there's no one way to answer this question.
All right. Thank you so much. So if I understand you, you're trying to say that it all depends on the context. If the teacher was leaning into being skinny, the child might grow up wanting to be skinny because at an early stage, the child was made aware of what his or her body looked like. And if the teacher was leaning into being a little bit chubby, having more flesh, the child might grow up wanting to have more body or more flesh because of where the teacher was coming from, if I understood your first point. And then you also mentioned that it depends on who the children look up to. Well, I agree with you to a large extent. That's what you meant, right?
About the teacher, I was not talking about the teacher at all. I mean, the teacher, according to the post, was trying to educate. Yeah, I was talking about the trend then.
Okay.
All right. The cultural influences then, or at the point of the education. For like she said, like Ikanke said, currently people are all about being skinny, but in special areas like flatter stomach but more hips and all that. So if the trend then is flatter stomach but more hips, and she falls into that category, she wants to maintain that body shape, but it's not that she may want to.
Okay, I lost Nicholas at some point. Is it just me or is it everybody? Hi, Nicholas, I can't hear you. Can you guys hear me? Oh my, I hope it's not my network. Okay, you guys can hear me. All right, okay. Then I think it's Nicholas. Okay, Nicholas, I think I lost you. So maybe when you get back.
Somebody was calling me. Sorry about that.
Okay. So just
can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I said the second point is correct, but the first point about the teacher, my explanation did not cover the teacher at all. I was talking about the trend as of the time of our education.
Yes,
if the trend, then the cultural influences are in favor of skinny bodies. She is not in that category. She may want to have a skinnier body than she currently does in the nearest future.
Okay, I understand.
So it's about the cultural influences and the trend of that time.
All right. I understand you perfectly now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very insightful. Okay, so let's move on to the next person. I would like to hear from one more person before I pick from those who raised their hand. So, Johnson, are you still on this call? So, if Johnson is still on this call, I can't find him. Is he still here? I think he left. Okay, he's still here. Johnson, let's hear from you. And after Johnson, then Treasure. Yeah, so let's go that way. Johnson, let's hear from you. Hi, Johnson. Can you hear me? Hello. Okay, so Treasure, let's start with you. When he's back, then.
Oh, good evening, ma'am. Good evening. I'm so sorry. I had to try to take some time. Good evening, ma'am. Can you hear me?
All right, yes, I can hear you. So please go ahead.
Good evening, my audible, please. Good
Yes,
evening.
you are very
Good
audible.
evening.
Yes, you are very audible.
All right. So thank you for calling me out, by the way. So personally, I think because the question is about thought patterns, like when we were introduced to something earlier on, that's from childhood, does it affect perception of something like that growing up? So I think it actually does. Yes, regardless of whether it's a beautiful thing that the society accepts or not. Because imagine someone calling you a rectangle from childhood. Because honest, at least I was in the person that was in this article, and I literally laughed out loud to some extent because why would the guy leave the guy that's the Fabi Abi something like that cover his mouth to call her rectangle, and then funny enough, what I was now going about, I was now seeing different shapes of. Forgive me for doing that, but I saw that. So, and honestly, it's going to affect our perception of everything. So when we grow up, we're looking at, okay, people are seeing me as this and that and that. So you want to become like another person. Then you're not really feeling good about yourself because of what you learned as a child. So yes, it does affect our charisma and our whatever growing up. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Johnson. I agree with you. I think it affects the kids growing up, and I have a perfect example which I'm going to give at the end when everyone is done. So, Treasure, let's hear from you. So, please, we have less than 12 minutes to go, so kindly keep it very short, okay? So that other people can.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, thank you too. I just want to say I really agree with what Nicola said, and I just want to answer this question by saying my own story. So when I was much younger, I was a little bit thicker, and in secondary school, people would call me different names from Uraba to like there was this set of people that usually always find joy in bullying me. Every week I have a new name because of my size. And I was not very big. I was always wondering what's the difference between me and the other person in the class. They always said I did not have big bum bum and all of those things. And I even started not eating because I wanted to be slimmer. I started skipping meals. I would literally keep my food at home and wait till I get home to eat. I started losing weight and I felt happy in being that. Growing as I got older, I realized that, this is actually anorexia. And I have healed from that. And I would say that influenced what I perceive to be what is a beautiful body and what is not. Now I understand better that no, that's not the right way. And it really affected me even up till maybe 2 or 3 years back, where I learned the truth and I discovered that, this is not what it really is. So yeah, that is what I want to say.
All right, thank you so much, Treasure. And I'm so happy you've grown past that stage. I'm really happy that you feel much better about yourself. And hopefully nobody says anything that makes you feel less of yourself anymore. As long as you're not, I know I've seen pictures of you, and from what I see, you look amazing. So it's just some childish opinion, and I'm very happy you've gotten better. So thank you so much for your input. Okay, so Nabas, let's hear from you. So after Nabas, Mokut, then Lambert. Let's take it in that order. So please keep your contributions very short, like very short. 1 minute. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Olivia. I think I agree with Nicholas when he mentioned that as student you're not really conscious of your body size and weight and etc etc. I think she said something along those lines, and I agree because you're actually taught to not like your own body because as a child you don't really know what is right at some point. I mean, as I think yeah, I believe that so the things that some children say to other kids are things their parents said to them. Why are you looking so
Yeah.
fat? And somehow they found it hot and they thought it was okay as well to say it to their own mates. But I wonder who taught these kids that somebody that looks this way
Yeah.
is ugly. Do you understand?
Yeah.
People are taught to hate themselves. Do you understand? Because a child does not know anything. He doesn't know that this his height would be is short. He doesn't know he's short. In fact, I wasn't even conscious of my height until I was in secondary school when people now make the thing. Do you understand it? So even tonight, I used to tell someone that I forget that I am not that tall. You get it doesn't cross my mind because there are other things on my mind. So I believe society just reminds you of like people, like I said, people teach you to hate your own body. And I believe it starts as we are kids. And these kids, how do they learn to hate on people's bodies? Because probably their parents say these things to them, why are you fat? And then they see some other person fatter than them. Probably these kids are not even fat. They see someone that's fatter and they say there's those same words that their parents said to them. So it all boils down to how we raised back at home, the things they said to us. And Mo could share some experience that at some point they were rationing the food that was given to her. And she was wondering, she's not even as fat as some other people. So I think it just boils down to how we raise the things that were said to us. And somehow you see a 5-year-old say that same thing to his friend, and the boy now becomes conscious of those words. Do you understand? So,
Yeah.
like I said, it boils down to the people we are listening to, our parents, the people that talk to us. They teach us to hate our own body. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nabas. You're very correct. And what you just said already leans towards what I was going to say at the end. So let's just hear from the next person. I think I said Mokut, right? After Nabas. So let's hear from you, Mokut.
Okay. Thank you, Olivia. No, this is answering Uzama's treasure's question. No, I don't like it's junk. I'm a very, very health conscious person. It's crazy because like my diet is actually crazy. Eat a lot of healthy food, which is for my body size, it's very easy to like just judge that I it's junk. Anyways, what I want to say is we've all been talking about weight and everything, and from what Nicholas shared, I have like a very funny experience that happened, and it's not weight related. So basically I didn't know anything about breast, and I got into secondary school at 9. I didn't know anything about breast. I didn't know anything about the concepts of having breast. I didn't have breast. The people that had breast, they used to hide their breast. Everything that concerned breast, they hid it from me. I didn't know what it was. I just like so
Me
when I was
too.
in just when I was in just one, we had this bathroom structure where everybody in just one had their bath together at a specific time. So all the breasts that I was exposed to as I did not have breast were small, and the biggest were just round and puberty breasts, if I would say like that. Now I left this school, Redemption Academy, and I went to Apostolic Faith, right? And see, this school was situation school. When I now went to this Apostolic Faith, we all had to share a bathroom with our SS3 seniors, SS2 seniors. Very bro, that was the first time I saw breast, like an explosion of it. Oh, that was transport. I don't know. So when I went back to the hostel after I took my bath, I now confided in one of my classmates that, wow, I didn't know that people have hanging breasts. This was what I said, and I was 10. Sorry, no, but I have to see. You don't understand. I don't know. You have to be a girl to understand this thing. And I said, oh, wow, I didn't know that people had hanging breasts. They punished me. Oh, God. They stopped us from bathing with our seniors. They stopped us from being in the room with the just. Please, no, So the other day I was on TikTok. I was on TikTok and then I saw this video where this babe was where this man was shaming. Oh, it was an American TikTok. So he was not shaming women. Apparently, over there, like up until their teenage years, their moms bathe with them and things like that. And I just realized that this is not something you should shame people for, because look at the way they punished like all the junior students from JS1 to SS1 suffered because I had never seen what grown. Oh God, sorry. I really apologize. I really feel, every time I think about it, I feel bad because I imagine how my seniors must have felt. Like someone will just come and tell you that you have hanging breast and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like things are so who cares? Like, it's a body part. It's a body part. The way, like what Nicholas was saying, how things are taught, how things are presented, it was like, oh, is this your private part? This is your private part. It just, I mean, like, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but this experience changed my life forever. I'm sorry.
If they don't, I honestly do. So, I mean, this experience reminds me of the first time I went to point at my friend's breasts in primary 4 to ask her, what is this? I mean, like right now, you recounting this story, I remember mine too, and I feel so embarrassed. So I think these things are the things that parents should teach their kids instead of focusing on telling them how you're this. I mean, like, there is a lot to tell your kids when they're little. For example, nobody told me, I feel like the reason why I have little breasts till today is because of what I did to myself when I was growing up. When I was growing up, nobody told me that, it starts little. I thought it just comes out, everything just shows up once. So one day I saw this classmate of mine. I always see her and she just has this, little bump there. So one day I had to go point at it. I'm like, what's this? All of them started pursuing me to beat me. I mean, this happened in University Primary School in UNN. So they all started pursuing me to beat me. I didn't know what it was for real. So, and they didn't tell me. Of course, they were kids too. I was just like, how old was I? Maybe, I think 7 or 8, because I was really young. So yeah. And then after that, when I started developing my own breasts, I thought I was having cancer, because they said one day I heard in church that if you have a lump and, you don't press it down, it's going to become cancerous, blah, blah, blah. So when I started having my own little, and it was so painful, I would go into the room, I'll be hitting my chest and saying, you lump, you must go back. And ladies and gentlemen, I did this for months. And until one day, my parents went, you are laughing at me. Like, it's not. So one day, my parents went to the village and my auntie was looking after us and she saw me doing it to myself and she was like, what are you doing? I said, I think I have cancer. I'm trying to push it back. She laughed. I felt so embarrassed. She laughed so much and she was like, Olivia, you are growing breasts. Oh my God. I felt so embarrassed. I didn't know. Yes, die by fire, I didn't know. All right. So Tahila, please, let's hear from you. And that's the end of today's review. Just you want to just get seconds and laugh, please. Go on.
So what I wanted to say is that
I think all right, guys. Thank you so much for tonight's review. Our meeting is to end by 10 o'clock. So, see you guys on the room. I still have a story I want to tell, but I think we have to continue. We have to continue on the group.
Don't forget to hit the follow button and tap on the notification icon to stay updated. That's all for today's episode. To join our book club or stay updated on future discussions, follow us on Instagram and X at Jollof Book Club, Jollof with a double F. And thank you so much for listening.